The Justice Department could soon file a lawsuit blocking JetBlue's proposed merger with Spirit Airlines. The Attorney General holding a news conference about an antitrust matter this morning at 11:30 Eastern. But it's not clear if it's about the deal. JetBlue CEO Robin Hayes was on CBS Mornings earlier today and discussed the possible lawsuit. And here's what he said.
Clearly, we're disappointed, but we're not surprised. The issue in the U.S. industry, and this is where we agree actually with the Department of Justice, is that we've got 4 large airlines with about 20% of the market each. That's 80%. The rest of us have 20% between us. And so what we're trying to do is make a bigger JetBlue to bring the JetBlue brand, the JetBlue product, the JetBlue people, and the JetBlue fares more nationally than we can do today.
All right, so I want to bring in Jessica Levinson to discuss this. She's a CBS News legal contributor. So, it sounds like a great idea, a large airline that offers very cheap prices. Who wouldn't want that? What legal arguments does the Justice Department have to make in order to effectively block this merger?
Well, they're going to have to make an argument that this is a monopoly, that it's an antitrust violation. And it's really interesting, and this happens so often in antitrust cases. Both sides are saying there's going to be a market disruption. So, of course, JetBlue wants to merge with Spirit Airlines. It would be a $3.8 billion deal. And what JetBlue is saying, as you heard, is there's going to be a JetBlue effect. So when we enter the marketplace, it actually leads to increased competition, lower prices. That's better for consumers. And we're just trying to be able to basically compete with all of those big airlines, the other big 4 that have 80% of the market. And what the DOJ is arguing is, no, you're actually going to lock people out of the market. Spirit Airlines is a lower cost airline. And if you merge with JetBlue, it would hurt consumers who want that lower cost. And there would really be no substitute for it. They're also saying that it would just lead to more ownership in the hands of a few. And so they're both saying, yeah, it's going to disrupt the market, but in different ways. One side is saying it's good for consumers, and the other side is saying it's actually going to lead to higher prices, and there won't be a substitute for Spirit Airlines. That's bad for consumers.
One of the things that Robin told us, Jessica and Emery, is that, look, they approved all the other mergers that are happening in the airline industry. And so why would this particular one be hard for them to approve? So is there a responsibility on the representatives from JetBlue and Spirit to prove that the merger would actually benefit consumers? It's one of the things that Robin said to us. Do they have to make that case in court?
Well, what they're going to have to do is show that it's not an antitrust violation, which is slightly different from it's going to be great for competition. It's no, there won't be a violation of the federal statute. Now, it's interesting, Vlad, to your point of, well, other people were allowed to do it, which is a little bit of the students saying, yeah, but last year I was allowed to do it. And the answer is, well, there's a new teacher in the classroom, and the Biden administration has just been more aggressive when it comes to corporate mergers and potential antitrust violations. So sure, this might have been fine in previous administrations, but it's not clear that it will be here.
I want to kind of like scale it back to just like a really basic question about antitrust laws, right? How do they protect consumers? Obviously, this is a country that celebrates entrepreneurship, and when companies grow, the free market, that's a good thing. But clearly, at some point, a company can cross the line. So can you just sort of explain that?
That's such a great question. At the bottom, this 1890 law, the Sherman Antitrust Act, it's an acknowledgement that a reduction in competition is bad for consumers, that you want people fighting for your business. And if only 2 or 3 people own the entire market share of one of the oldest cases I teach is about sugar manufacturing. But if just 1 or 2 companies own all of sugar manufacturing, then they don't really have to lower their prices very much. That's bad for you when you go to the market and you try and buy sugar. But if there's a lot of people that can provide you with that sugar, and there's a diversity of ownership, then all of a sudden, some of the people are lowering their prices. Everyone else, if they want to keep the consumers, they have to lower their prices too to try and compete. That's better for us, again, when we go to the market because we want to, bake our scones or whatever we want to do that day.
Better for us, but I presume also the government was saying at the time, it's better for government it's better for governing, like or it's better for the economy,
Right.
And the free flow of money. And so I would presume it's not just looking out for the consumer, but it's just better for the structure of the economy.
Well, and as
to
you
have
both
competition.
and as you both pointed out, the case would have to be made that when you merge the two low-cost carriers, the only two low-cost carriers that we have in this country, into one company, what's to prevent them from slightly raising their prices, even if it's still below the average of the big four, as Robin called them, but they're controlling the market because there's no alternative. If you don't like what the JetBlue-Spirit airline would offer you as a price to fly to Houston, well, then you're out of luck.
That's exactly right. And Anne-Marie, you're exactly right that it's about the economy. And when the Sherman Antitrust Act was first enacted and it was challenged, that was the defense, right? Actually, this is better for the national marketplace. And that's why Congress has the power to pass it at all, because Congress has the power to regulate interstate commerce. And part of making sure that we have a functioning economy is making sure that we don't have a few companies or people who can basically buy up an entire marketplace of a good.
All right, Jessica Levinson, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.